kalau sebenarnya aku nggak ikhlas.
Ada apa, Mas?
Dibiarkan sendiri, gak mungkin. Mau siapapun itu gak mungkin dibiarkan sendiri. Mau hari yang solo push, langsung kan vision terlihat dengan sangat jelas. Jadi target adalah dua flicker.
Ada miss tadi nampaknya.
Dua-duanya.
Iya, tapi menjadi keuntungan untuk teman-teman Black Sanders. Mereka kan bisa setup di tempat yang lain.
Ya, satu tempat lain dan bahkan mereka tahu kalau tidak ada duel dengan flicker. Udah pasti itu.
Bot bisa di setup sebenarnya. Perlahan tapi pasti. Jangan lupa damage dari Gary ya. Ini Gary-nya 3-0 loh. Dia udah pasti bisa nge-deliver damage karena udah jadi 40% cooldown reduction juga.
Endless ya udah sakit.
Iya. Sama sebenarnya dari Hide on Bush juga. Dia udah menuju ke item keempat bahkan sekarang. Dengan Brute Force, Endless Battle Rex, Power Spike udah sama-sama ada. Dan Orochi.
Duel Dragon dikeluarkan dari Purify dipaksa. Berhasil membuat pasukan dari tim Black Sentence memancing Duel of Dragon. Tapi Purify juga terpancing. Untuk melihat potensi saat ini, sebenarnya dipegang sama Black Sentence sih, menurut gua.
Ya.
Ini ngomongin ke arah chipnya, dia bebas kemana aja. Dia bebas untuk bermain shortcut juga bisa. Karena bebas banget, itu visionnya gak ada yang lihat tuh di situ satu.
Ya, dia lagi masih di rumput ya.
Ya, satu titik tuh tadi di atas.
Dan permasalahannya nih, kalau misalkan tiba-tiba dia
itu
akan
itu dia visionnya, tapi ternyata terlihat sangat jelas. Stevie muncul, mundur ke arah belakang. Free hit dan ternyata bonyok. Stevie harus mundur ke arah belakang, tidak ada shortcut. Memasang tiba Duel Dragon dikeluarkan dari Orochi. Agar para pasukan dari tim CJ Sport gak kena stuck yang diberikan oleh para pasukan dari Black Sentence. Mereka bermain dengan sustain team fight. Stevie, mereka tahu Stevie satu hit dari Gary bisa menumbangkan Stevie loh tadi. Kalau pasifnya belum makan chip.
Ya, makanya tadi dia masih coba untuk maju lagi ke bagian depan. Dan Lordnya gak di reset.
Dia nunggu keripik.
Iya. Ini Lordnya bakal jadi Lord yang panjang seharusnya, dan hati-hati Orochi.
Oke, sakit. Orochi udah mulai sadar. Yentri distraction. Yentri hanya distraction. Kalau mereka fokus ke arah Yentri, ini menjadi bebas banget untuk Amsikom.
Tapi ya sejauh ini juga ya, kayak seharusnya dari Black Sentence mereka bisa main satu lane loh. Karena mereka masih banyak chip kan. Jadi mereka masih bisa mainin shortcut. Kalau memang nanti ada fight penting di lore-nya, tinggal dibuka aja nanti buat shortcut.
Oh, Trinity udah jadi. Cukup lama ya sebenarnya. Tapi untuk dampak setelah Trinity menurut gue yang bahaya banget. Hati-hati Doom. Force kebuka.
Oh, zaman Force. Info lumayan mahal sih kalau mereka mau makan salah satu pemain dari tim Black Sentence. Belum ada Duel Dragon, langsung ada Reward manipulasi di depan sana. Ada tim fight front to make. Titan Boost, gak ada yang bisa dimakan pada pasukan dari tim Black Sentence. Mereka juga gak bisa menumbangin karena balance. Masih terlalu lincah untuk bisa menghindari damage yang diberikan dari tim Black Sentence. Amzik satu-satunya yang bisa ditempel sama Orochi. Tapi dari tadi Amziknya, itu lost vision.
Hati-hati sekarang udah susah sih nempel Amzik. Udah jadi Trinity, Orochi bisa jadi bonyok. Bawahnya gak dikontrol, gue pikir mereka akan tenangin
Oh my god, Orochi gak boleh termakan. Dan kali ini 1 poin kill didapatkan oleh pasukan dari tim CJ Sport. Mereka coba banget over menuju ke arah Lord tidak reset dan High Bambus bisa masuk lebih dalam lagi. Stevie akan coba ditelan bulat-bulat karena tidak ada lagi flicker yang bisa menyelamatkan dirinya. Mereka harus bertahan di atas menit 12. Tidak ada holy defense dengan win.
Who might be next, but then he gets to put himself under the turret, and CG Esports have found a way around this.
Dude, Chico's holding on to that all until next Christmas, my guy. He's waiting for 2027 before he releases it. Because so far, his ults have been interesting, and it's strange to see, but Odette so far has a 25% win rate in 4 games in the M-Series stage. Wow, Chico posted 80% in 5 games in MPL. I didn't realize... It was 80. I thought it was still 60. It's not on two games, I guess. CJ Esports on the brink of getting a victory here. 10 to 7 on the kills. Come on, do the thing. Chiku, a massive swan song. He's not gonna pull the trigger just yet. He wants to really savor the moment. He's waiting for a savage.
I don't know. It's either he really wants to use it immediately or he doesn't want to use it at all.
I feel like he wants to be in the center.
Okay, Orochi now. Oh, Amzig's feeling so much down. He has to figure out because you can expect the same from Doom. Stico finds Doom, but on the other side of the map, Steppe also gets to use the shortcut. Ye3 though, trying to pursue Shin, and he will be successful in finding the kill. But Chiku's traded out too. Now it's Ye3 all alone.
So, explain to me what the call was there. Like, how, right? How could you watch this up that far? Trying to buy time, but at this point he will eventually fall. This beast of the Black Sentence.
Oh, what?
Down. Oh, yeah, three. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. You get a wipe out. There's clear out the minion waves. Yeah. They gotta deal with the minion waves. Man, this is hard to watch. This is pretty hard to watch. Let's look at that replay one more time to see how bad this was a biff, right? Because the fight split in two, and that's something that CG does not want to do, right? They kite to the same side, they see Steppe, but then the information was cut in half. Chiku's going for Shin, who's supposed to be the main target. Don't get me wrong, I don't think it's the worst target, but you have 4 members attacking your backline who is already less than 25 HP.
I think if he got the kill on Shin and Doom, it would have been different. Shin was able to get away with it, so all the other frontliners were able to just regroup and help Shin survive that for a bit more longer. And unknowingly, those frontliners had decent amount of damage too.
I'm going for a real speed here. Is Shin that big of an issue to Amzig? I feel like as much as you're up against this Harith, the range is kind of important because Orochi is pretty much in your face 90% of your time, and then the last 1% is Doom. The other 9% is hide on bush.
Yeah, it feels like he's just thinking of all the magic damage dealers. He's thinking 4 magic damage to 1 physical. I build rule school.
I will not let Steppe kill me.
Not this chip. Anyone but the chip. Great position by CG, by the way. Black Sun is prior with the turtle, but they have a little bit more map control. They had Gary down bot, cut that. The beacon.
Oh, wait.
I need to do something right now. What a gang!
Ah, Steppe doesn't know, but everyone else is there too. Now Chiku, is it time that he uses the Swan Song? He finally does, but no one goes down. Ye3 blocking off the other members, and every single one of them remains alive.
That was hot.
That really was. Good thing Gary used the mountain chakra in time, because if he did it, he would have just gotten surprised. But he felt it. They knew something was up. And then they were able to spot out the chip play before it fully pushed through. 5v5 still. This could be a very intense and dramatic end to this 3-game series. CG and Black Sentence fighting for tournament life.
Look at the goalie. It's just going back and forth. It really doesn't stop changing. 12 to 11, these teams are so strangely equal in terms of the playing field. Despite having such a better composition and counter index. Oh, wait.
Orochi, where's that damage coming from? Gary, he just wanted the Lord. And now that they got it, nothing matters anymore.
Yep.
I was thinking they'd use the chip to send the Lancelot back faster, but where was it?
They're nervous. It's like Chiku's not holding it until next year, guys. He's using it this game.
Yeah. They knew they're still, again, that's one of the threats of this event up against that chip. Even if they did decide to use it, they would just all eat it, the Swan Song, although dead. And now CG easily got the Lord. They're marching forward, very close into items. Black Sentence has great defense, great high ground, but can they make it work? Chiku?
I wouldn't be surprised if Chiku flickers in.
Yep, he honestly should after this right here.
Okay, doesn't have the Winter Crown, but maybe right now is a good time. Black Sentence, though, will focus on clearing out the waves first. And there goes the Chiku go in! 4 members of Black Sentence are down! Doom could not defend this anymore! CG Esports, stay alive!
Such a toxic relationship
I have with Chiku. I doubt him. He says no. I pay back with dividend every single time. Poetic. A swan song from Chiku. Unfortunately, sends Black Sentence home. And CG are still alive here. It is not a Black Friday for Malaysia. Thank you, Black Sentence, for your effort, for everything that you've done, for what you almost achieved. But it's CG who walks away victorious. A heartbreak for the region of Latam. More rebuilding to do, but great potential, a bright future, and truly competitors that could change the game in a year's time. 5 months compared to a year. Imagine if they were on the same footing.
Yeah, but 5 months. That's how long BSC have been together. From
MPL LATAM Season 1 to MPL LATAM Champions to this moment where it almost looked like they could have taken this away from CG, but hesitation meant that CG pounced.
That makes it 2 Malaysian teams now.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is an elimination match.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that's right.
So at least for CG, they make it for just one more round.
Yeah.
Qualification is one best of 3 away.
And I mean, we're trimming down the fat here. Yeah. Heartbreak to the lean meat already, and we're getting there fast.
Yeah, we are. We have one more elimination match coming up today, but of course, in just a moment, we'll be hearing from CG. Unfortunately, Stefan will have to wait another year. So you're starting to see the emotions on the faces of BSE. They were so close.
Decided to put Steffi, right?
Yeah.
G were just quick to react, and it's not react in a bad way. It's like they decided to rotate towards the bottom lane, fully knowing well that that could be the call for Black Sentence.
It's crazy. The runner-ups of Malaysia was taken to 3 games against Black Sentence. 5 months again. I hope Black Sentence considers taking this team together. They've had a wealth of experience this M series. They started off Swiss by taking that 1 game against CFU Gaming. They struggled against Alter Ego and Team Falcons, but they took CG to their limit. There's a bright future in LATAM, and I hope the region gets behind Black Sentence. There could be a team there to make an even deeper run in the next major international. But it is the joy of Malaysia as CG is still alive here on Swiss stage. We're going to go on over to Rose for the interview to hear from CG.
From MDL Latam to the World Championship stage in 5 months is no easy feat. Keep your heads held high, Black Sentence, and we hope to see you come back stronger next year. And now the winner of our second elimination match of the day. Give it up for CG Esports! Right now on stage, we have with me Yetri and Chiku. Boys, that was a very intense game 3. How are you both feeling right now? Feeling good? Chiku?
Tak tahu macam mana. Hampir rasa macam nak kalah kan tadi.
He felt like he almost lost just now. Just a little bit, almost. Now, Chiku, we learned that CG is actually Scream's partners with BSE. So, did that make today's match harder or actually easier?
I think harder because mostly we fighting in Swiss stage, BFYG and BSC our screen partner. So yeah, little bit harder.
It makes it harder because more or less you guys know who's going to pick and ban, who's
We
going
know
to
each other.
rotations, all those kind of stuff. Yeah, that was a very intense full series actually. Now, Yetri, this journey in the Swiss stage so far, especially since it's your first international tournament, right? How different is CG from when you started in the Swiss stage until now? What changed?
Confidence. Well, because before this we just lack of progression and our team is not fully ready. But right now we are fully together and change our mindset.
Fully together, and of course the mindset has definitely changed. You said that the confidence also has changed. So are you guys more confident now?
Of course, we confident going to knockout stage.
Confident to go to the knockout stages. Now, yes, guys, tomorrow CG Esports has actually one more do or die match to get one of the last few tickets to the knockout stages. And speaking of that, since you guys are one game away, do you feel more pressured?
Pressure is come every time because I already usually do that. And maybe so because whoever the opponent, we try to fight.
Whoever the opponents, you guys try to fight. Now, we know that back then in Malaysia, whenever you guys are stressed out, you guys would go release some stress by bowling. Have you guys done any of those activities in Jakarta to help manage the stress?
Yes.
Yes.
2 days ago, right? You go bowling. 2 days ago.
I think yesterday night.
Oh, yesterday night. Okay, so for all of you guys who don't know, here's your little fun fact. CG uses bowling as a way to actually de-stress. Now, Chiku, I see in the audience today that you have a special buff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My family.
Your family is here. Do you have anything you want to say to your wife, your baby?
Untuk wife saya dengan Dania, hopefully kita akan banyak dapat. InsyaAllah kalau ada rezeki.
He said to his wife and to his daughter, hopefully they will go back to Malaysia later, not anytime soon. And of course, earlier today we showed a video message from Yooms, and he was giving his support to you. Is there anything you want to say to Yooms?
For Yum and semua SRG punya player and coaching staff mostly, terima kasih sebab banyak bagi tips kat kita orang and membantu kita orang perbaiki masalah kita orang. Ya, terima kasih.
Once again, congratulations to CG Esports for making it out of another elimination match. Thank you so much, boys. Congratulations. I will see you both tomorrow. And of course, now it's time to show it back to the casters to actually analyze what happened in this full series match.
Great to hear from Yethri and Chiku, of course, showing their love and thanks to their fellow Malaysian orgs, members, teams, Yooms, SRG, of course. Because I hesitated there because I remember Crab and Innocent are Filipino. So that's why I was like, I don't want to accidentally lump all of them as Malaysian, as there are Filipinos who are surprised that Crab and Innocent are Filipino. So I think no matter what, it's going to be help from the organization, right? Because Coach Ark, technically, if you're talking about quote-unquote help, that would be kind of the go-to. But let's give it up for our MVP of this game. Without a doubt, as much as I was like, okay, maybe, I don't know, he's holding on to that swan song till next year, he has paid dividends again and again and again. Yeah, it's like Chico was like, guys, what is called swan song? It should be the final goodbye, the very last. So I will get the last, I will get the last big swan song right before we win. It's all part of the plan,
He was saving it, even his flicker. So maybe that's why he wasn't showing himself anymore.
It's for the sake of conceptual symmetry.
Yeah, you guys can fight, and I'm just gonna use my flicker and my swan song when I want to end things.
Look, there are many different arguments that can be made here, but truly there are only a couple of facts that matter. Now let's start looking at the highlights real quick, because let me tell you, this swan song had so much potential to devastate every aspect of this fight. You can tank an entire RWM if you're sitting right in the middle of it, but the biggest problem is how does it get cancelled? Now, a lot of the knockouts really just boil down to, hey, if Chip gets on top of you, because everybody else doesn't actually have CC. Well, I mean the RWM, but even so, it doesn't cancel out the channeling at the end of the day. So it's about positioning in these fights. When you are looking at Harith on the opposite side, he can only dash as far as the zone that he's created with the Salmon Force, which is why we see that in a lot of major fights that BSE is looking to try and take out some key characters before the fight even begins. But then the swan song comes in, always clutch at the very end. As we see the rest of these fights continue to play out, the worst thing that BSE could potentially do is to start a fight by a Lord, and that's why you're seeing that Stefe was heading to opposite sides of the map, looking for potentials. Luckily, Amzik learned a little bit off the team spirit game. Maybe don't walk up too far off in the lane. You know, maybe wait for the mountain chakra, let Valence do a lot of the heavy lifting. And I think that Valence, I am worried about
about him because his hero pool seems to be more proficient towards Cho and nothing else, but I could be entirely wrong, similar to the Swan Song, because in this final moment, it was so telegraphed. You knew exactly what they wanted to do with this Swan Song and Flicker. We're gonna siege, we're gonna take you all out. If you walk too far outside of your crystal, it's game over.
Troy really can't fault, again, going back to the main point with how the Swan Song disrupted a lot of the ideas that maybe Black Santas just could never bring out, that they had to hesitate, that had to cut Swan Song every single time. Cannot blame them for not deciding to use the chip ultimate to send the Hydon push to the Lord in the last Lord fight, and then they just decided, let's just play for the defense. But then at that point, Chico was like, I have one condition, I look for shit. Once that real-world manipulation is up, I'm coming here. Swan Song.
It looked like a collective call to just come from behind the wall so everyone gets surprised. Because no one saw that CG were ready to fight inside the base just yet. But then you just needed that single dash from Amsing and then Balance could do it easily. But Chico was the difference maker in that team fight because he literally sacrificed the flicker just so he could also get in and cross the wall. I love it when I see unique mages in the mist.
Yep, and hey man, none other than the man who brings unique stuff all the time to you guys. God, he's already played so many different roles. He's made an impact, and it's great to see him back on the stage. But I'm really excited for players like Amzik, for an example. Yeah, three unironically played one hell of a game. He bought literally, a total of a minute and a half of just delaying his opponents?
And the Preston Hill really showing up as to why it's one of the picks that may fly under the radar, but impactful. When there's the Rome with the EXP, the Rome, as you saw here, a little bit more demanding. Make sure you get something right in the mid trades. With the EXP, as long as you're managing your lane, you're good. You just go straight run to the back, get that target down. Very fun one here. Between CG and Black Sentence, it went to 3 games. I was expecting like a pretty sloppy, one-sided affair, but no. Again, which is why Black Sentence, hopefully they keep this roster. It's only been 5 months. They can only go up from here. I hope we get to see more of them, maybe in MSC.
It was really fun, even if it was a Hilda Uranus matchup in the EXP. It's not like we watched them in the EXP lane anymore. Our observer did not go there anymore. So we were just...
Come on, what are you going to see? You're going to see riveting gameplay. Uranus going, whoa. Hilda going, whoa.
We just had to watch Chico, right? And whatever Chico wanted to do.
Well, Balance was also a pretty good accommodating, second place to watch make moves across the map, because I think that he started to pick up on the idea of how exactly should I be dealing with this chip? I don't need to deal with him. I just need to see him once.
We have one last remaining match for today. It's Evil up against Onic Indonesia. Who would have thought that Onic will be fighting for tournament life, now up against the Singaporean champions. We'll be back after this break.
Official gaming phone.
Onic kembali jadi juara.
Going to the M7 World Championship.
Onic kembali jadi juara.
Are going to the M7 World Championship.
Futbol uğraşıyordum, futbolcu olmak istiyordum. Ama pandemi girdikten sonra futbolu ara verdim. Birazcık da Mobile Legends oynamaya başladım o zamanlar yani yaklaşık.
Que nosotros empezamos de la MDL, la ganamos, después subimos a la MPL, también la ganamos y ahora estamos en el Mundial y también esperamos ganar.
I think Team Zone is underdog in M7. Nobody expected us to be here.
Evo was once a dark horse and we break through the expectation of everyone. Even though we are coming in as a newcomer, we are not just coming in here for experience.
We know we have power. That's all. We are good.
Nosotros
Siguro meron muna silang MSC title and M-World title. Kalau dibilang tim raja, enggak. The Sky King of the Second Down. Kita belum layak dipanggil raja. Ya, back to back dulu lah semuanya. Baru bisa dianggap tim raja.
Tingin ko, isa kami sa mga king teams kasi sobrang dami na namin pinanalo na tournaments and sobrang dami na namin na-achieve ng magkakasama. Sa tingin ko, kapag na-achieve na namin yung Golden Road, hindi na siguro king team yung tawag sa amin, siguro mas angat pa doon.
I think we are because based on the recent tournament in MSC, we are the top two. If we win, we already show everyone that we have the potential to become more than a two. Let's do it for Malaysia.
I will redeem Indonesia.
I will complete the Golden Road.
We are going to be closing out this Friday night here in Jakarta, Indonesia, watching the champions of MPL Indonesia fight for tournament life against the champions of MPL Singapore as Evil face off against Onic. I cannot believe I'm actually saying that.
Yeah, it's a little interesting to see, considering that Onic was supposed to be one of the few, I would say, part of the top three of favorite teams to eventually make it to the end. We don't know which one of the three was going to make it to the end, but they were definitely high up there.
Yeah, because I think even for, let's say, the coaching staff of like teams or the other teams who we would assume would be placed in top three, like Liquid or Aurora, would all acknowledge that Onic is one of those teams to beat, to really get past before you could eventually say that you would confidently be able to win. But I maybe it's the best of ones, maybe it's other factors too, but honestly, it still remains a mystery to me because prior M7, we thought they had such a great grasp of the meta already.
But to be fair, again, to Onyx, this is the first time we're going to be seeing them in a best of three match here at M7, as they have only faced off in the BO1s against Boosgate, Young God, Team Spirit. But that just really contextualizes this thing that I can't believe that a team the caliber of Onyx ID struggles in the BO1 format, whereas the team that they face in the grand finals of MPL Indonesia Season 16 Alter Ego have gone perfect against Aurora Turkey, Black Sentence, and then they swept the team that beat Onyx in Yangon Galactica. So the Sky Kings must rise before evil takes control. I like that headline, that's pretty good. Nobody thought that we'll be here, but we're here. It's Singapore's champion taking on the champions of Indonesia and one of the favorites to win the entire tournament in an elimination.
M7 is something else. If we end the Swiss stage in a similar fashion as to how we ended Wildcard, which was like a major upset or a team we expected to advance not advancing, then that'll be crazy. But I think a lot of us are in agreement that this favors Onic.
Yeah, no, it definitely favors Onic, and considering their entire run up to until this point, it seems like they had. Issues up again. This team is very much free flow, right? You gotta have creative ways. You gotta be able to kind of flow, be able to get people into the fights in and out every single time, but they lack decisiveness. And I think that's something that we saw in their past. Two losses, they weren't decisive enough to take an initial fight. And sometimes even on their wins, that's why we only see up until the late game where that free flow really matters take into effect.
Yeah, because I'm surprised. Like the drafts they tend to go for are still, I'd say, centered around Kiboy Sans and the plays they can make. But as you said, they look like they're trying to go for it, but then they don't. So I think that's also one of the things we look out.
One thing that Onyx can look at is that history works well for them in the sense that the last time we saw an Indonesian champion in the M series started off 1-2 they eventually made it to the grand finals. I'm talking about Team Liquid Indonesia in the M6 World Championship, where that was the record they started with. But now looking at Evil in the history of Singapore in this format, NIP Flash were pretty darn good during M6. They lost to CFU, they beat Aurora PH, they beat S2G, then they would go on to take a then really hot in the tournament Twisted of Minds to be the third team to secure, or excuse me, fourth team to secure their slot. That was M6. Let's revisit now, though, the history that doesn't work well for Onic Indonesia. The fact that when it comes to best of ones, they do not have a glowing track record with this format, either in the BO1s or even in the BO2 format.
And it's kind of ironic, right? Because the only times that when we look at the BO1s, it's like, oh man, this is kind of difficult. And obviously, in M3 they beat their brothers, but up until that point, coming down into those best of fives, the only times we see them actually drop the ball really, really hard is either A, to at the time going to be eventual champions, Echo, and of course Deo's Fault, who we now know as the one and only Team Spirit. Like, so again, very much recalling back onto the history of the teams that they have lost to, they are still losing to, and the track record of BO1's not being great, honestly, still adds up.
Yeah, and now they're gonna be filling this M7 portion, depending on how things go for their best of three match here against Evil, where I'm wondering how Evil feels like heading into this match, because I feel like they've been on a great momentum. You could see it and you could feel it in their interviews and how motivated they are actually, because they beaten like some of the more significant teams for them on a personal level, I'd say. But to prepare yourself against a team like Onic, I wonder if it's like a similar feeling to how CG felt, or like are they gonna attack this in a different way, or are they gonna stick with what's familiar to them in a sense, especially in terms of ground?
I think so far, the biggest ways that we've seen teams try to punish Onic, especially in those BO1s, really comes down to the performance of whether Woodby is able to get into position. Because Skylar, he's getting to the kill points, he's getting to the critical mass, he's unable to convert it due to a lack of space. So maybe that's the way that Evil is going to hit him hard.
Yeah, if they can hit Ludwig hard, hit the side laners hard. They also have to look at Skylar, not Skylar, excuse me, Keyboy, if they can give him a hard time. I've been asking around, a lot of people kind of scenes, I've been thinking that they're sort of underwhelmed by Keyboy's performance so far alongside Sands. But hey, now that we're in a best of three, it might be a little bit better to know a little bit more about the champions of MPL Indonesia, one of the favorite teams to win it all. We got to watch this to understand them.
Tim Onic kalah.
High above the clouds, it's the Dragons of the North that take the Sky Kings down in front of their home crowd.
Ya inilah M7. Gak ada yang bisa dilihat, gak ada yang bisa tahu gimana jalannya pertandingan ini.
Nggak tahu juga, emang kalah aja.
Hindi po siya common siguro. Nga po, dahil hindi po siya madalas nangyayari, kaya medyo nahihirapan po kami ayusin. И мы знали, что Оники достаточно в плохой форме, и этот матч можно спокойно выиграть.
Normally, when you see a team struggling, you have to see about the inside and the outside of the game. Based from the outside, I just think that they're not in sync right now and they have some communication issues.
Ya kita main, menang kalah, maksudnya menang bareng, kalah bareng gitu. Kita nggak ada kayak ngesalahin satu player atau gimana.
Right on, what I can say is they still bad drafting, bad playing, and have a lot of mistakes and in gameplay, in micro, in macro, in some strategies, in some fights, in some drafting also.
Kailangan nilang ilabas yung talagang hero nila. Huwag na sila mag-train any composition.
Sometimes it can be a simple problem that can, kind of affect your team.
Mungkin dari tekanan pressure dari fans juga ya. Karena kan kalau di Indonesia diharapkan banget untuk menang.
Sebenarnya kalau dari gue sendiri, gue kayak ini sih, kayak ngelihat mereka gimana cara mereka ngangkat piala sih. Jadi kayak benar-benar itu ibaratnya kayak redemption dari dalam diri gue.
Dia akan melakukan yang terbaik dan meningkatkan lagi cara bermainnya.
Untuk Onic,
tetap semangat.
Semangat ya. Onic, semangat terus. Let's go, Onic.
Come back stronger, Onic. This time, Onic.
Community sentiment is that Onic needs to stop experimenting and ego drafting. Should they? Are they actually experimenting and ego drafting just because we saw Kyrie pick up a Leo Mort, which is one of the hottest picks of the tournament?
I don't know. I feel like it's really the small little things, right? Because again, it's just how much preparation have you put into the game for each and every individual teams that you have to play and account for so many different situations, right? When we saw them play against Yangon Galacticos, I think it was the most obvious that they were not synced. And even their draft, again, a little questionable, right? And then we look at their fight against Team Spirit, where clearly Team Spirit just got whatever they wanted to, right? Canceling the correct abilities at the correct time. It felt like they couldn't make a mistake, but really the onus was on Onic, who wasn't healing for each other to create those beautiful moments that we know Onic for.
Yeah, it was that game which brought back my faith in the Leomord. Because I lost because of the Onic game, and then it was brought back by Team Spirit when they went up against that exact same team, which was Onic. But yeah, I agree, because I feel like the way that they've been drafting, except for the Yangon game perhaps, is very much Onyx identity, like those pick-off heroes, those burst-type heroes. So I would personally think that it's more on making sure that they get to activate the Sans Keyboy connection that we know, because I think that's where a lot of it starts. Luti in the sides, it's not like you expect him to get the advantage all the time. But so long as those two are working, then everything eventually falls into place. And I think you could say the same for Skylar. Like, Skylar's very dependable in the gold lane. So
Yeah.
I think majority of the attention is going to fall on the mid.
I'm gonna look at it slightly differently though. It's now in this situation that Luke definitely needs to step up.
Yeah.
And because if the argument is then if as long as Kiboy Sans is kind of doing good, then everything should be going good. Well, what if it doesn't? Then someone needs to pick up the pace. Someone in the side lane needs to pick it up. The pressure is on the EXP jungle, or the focus of this meta, or a lot of the pressure is on there. So now let's look at the other side. Let's look at Evil, a team that could potentially end up getting the greatest upset in MLBB history if they can take the Sky Kings down today. But it is a tall order for Gear, Aether, Sayla, Powerful, and Ven, as even their victory against Flash in Singapore had question marks on it.
I mean, people say that there's question marks, but at the end of the day, they're here at M7. And they're also backed up by veterans like Kieran as well as Sayla, who was part of an international 4th place finish during M3 and to push Evil forward. This is what they're looking for. My biggest problem with Evil right now, and their biggest opportunity to actually beat Onic, comes down to what is their win condition. Their win conditions are always extremely tight, highly mechanical, super demanding. We need easier win conditions to make this happen. And as much as I believe that Onic like to have those easy win conditions, the timings of those are always lackluster. And as you mentioned, Remar, I don't see that secondary carry just yet.
Now that you mention it, actually the way that they've been drafting seems a bit too dependent on a certain play. Or there has to be this sequence for you to be able to guarantee that you get the most out of your lineup. It's the Tigreal during their first game, and then the Freya Faramis in the second game. And they've been trying the Sora out as well. So I know they're a team which is very textbook, and or at least they're described to be a team which is very textbook or fundamental. But these drafts kind of take it away from them to play that.
My worry for Evil here is that when they went up against Team Spirit to open up their Swiss campaign, and then they went up against Aurora, Turkey after they defeated the FYG, they did not look impressive in those games. I did not see an Evil that I feel like going into today, I could say they can beat Onic. But who knows? Singapore has always been the region of many surprises when it comes to the international stage, and they might bring that out. Here's an interesting fun fact. Did you know that Sayla, the mid laner of Evil, and Kyrie are actually good friends, and they've been good friends since M3. And there's even more details about their close friendship, and even with Coach Yep and Sayla in an interview that we had with Rose, Sayla, and Kyrie. So we're gonna throw you on over there to find out more about this and maybe their friendship will be a good factor.
Hey guys, Rose here, and right now I am with Kyrie and Sayla.
Hello.
A very interesting mix-up. Hello, hi Sayla. Now, I know some people would think this is a very interesting mix-up, but actually, the last time these two met was in M3. And in case you guys didn't know, they actually became quite good friends right after M3. So, tell us, Kyrie, how did you guys eventually become friends during M3?
I think it was when the tournament he asked me to eat out. That's when it started.
Yes, because M3 did happen in Singapore and Sayla is Singaporean. Where did you guys go eat?
I did out.
Hot pot. A good choice, a very good choice. So, Sayla, so after so long, how do you feel finally meeting Kyrie again? Did you miss him?
Yes. But I met him quite a few times throughout since M3, so we've been keeping in touch since.
They've been keeping in touch. Okay, since the mic is with Sayla, Sayla, what was your first impression of Kyrie in M3?
Actually, his vibes is very similar to me. We are both really shy. So, yeah.
What about you, Kai?
I think the same as his answer. It was also my first impression of him was he was like a shy boy. Yeah, shy introvert.
Yeah, M3 was definitely quite a while back. Now, what's your impression of him now?
Still the same, I think.
Still shy. Sayla?
Exactly the same still.
No difference at all. You know what? Just a little bit. Since you're in Indo now, which is kind of Kyrie's home ground, is there any food you recommend Sayla to eat while he's here?
I actually asked him to eat nasi padang, which is my favorite food here, and I don't know if he already tried it or not. Did you?
No, not yet. You bring me.
Not yet. Okay. Before we enter into this game, you guys will become enemies later on. Friends right now, enemies in the battlefield. Is there anything Kyrie wants to say to Sayla as a friend?
I just want to say I'm sorry because I have to send you back in Singapore.
Sayla?
I also want to send you home. Sorry too.
In order to see who will be sending who home, we shall head right into the match.
Thank you, Rose. Nice to see the dynamic of Sayla and Kyrie. Dude, I would pay to watch a buddy cop film with these two as stars.
I'm telling you, the Wattpad is going crazy right now.
The
Wattpad is going wild. Singaporean youngsters are out there thinking about this relationship right here. A bond that can't be broken.
Because the way that they were just standing beside each other like that and not moving, it was awkward, but it was so cute.
That's how you know they're true friends, the shenanigans that they've been up to. But it's time to welcome them up on stage. Let's start with Onic. They are down, but not out just yet. The Sky Kings fall on their knees, gracious in you to prove that not all hope is lost. EXP Ludby, Mid Assad, Roke Boy, Gold Scholar, and Jungle Kyrie. Your time is now. Onic, Indonesia! The home ground has shown up. EXO Hall is filled with Sonics. But maybe, just maybe, it's a team from Singapore. They're champions and a little bit of evil that can spice things up.
And on the other side, from the Philippines, runner-up now facing Indonesia's champion. Does Singapore's representative have what it takes to pull off a great upset? It's gear, Aether, Sayla, powerful, and then take control, Evil!
This team has worked far too hard to get eliminated now. Singapore, known to be upsetters in every international tournament. This could be their moment that could change a lifetime and a generation for MLBB esports within their own region. Of course, we have the brawn lined up in front of us. We must get the brains up on stage. Give it up for the coaches for both Evil and as well as Onic. From the side of Evil, it's Coach Bitoy. And from Onic, it's Coach Adi and CW. Once again, we'd like to thank Gary the Marshal, making sure that everything is running smooth up on that stage. All technical issues will be handled.
A lot of us are thinking this is probably going to go a very specific and predictable way. But what if? What if just a little bit more magic from Singapore, a little bit more shock? What if that DNA of NIP Flash or the now Flash is still there in Evil? And it might just be enough to shock the champions of Indonesia. Yes, the champions of Singapore on your screens.
Yeah, because if you're talking about the magic of Singapore and their lineups or their runs ever since in international tournaments, it always feels as if it's an almost there. Like they bring out something and then they almost accomplish the upsets, but it's never enough. And that's been the trend for Flash for how many times now in a row. But now it's different. It's not Flash that we're seeing, it's Evil who defeated Flash. And with this mixture of new or young bloods and veterans, this might just be that recipe to accomplish that.
I think a bigger topic we need to talk about are the imports here. Aether and as well as Ven. Ven from MPLPH. From the side of MPL Indonesia, we have Aether. Both considered pretty mediocre in their own rounds. And now they have to fight to not only consider tournament favorites, but some of the pillars of the Indonesian MLBB esports scene. They're facing up against Skylar and Kyrie.
When all else fails, trust Kyrie. It's a good way to look at Onic IP, but it is definitely no longer Kyrie Esports as the old statement was back then. But the entire team definitely needed to carry their weight. Skylar, questionable Bruno, big with Fighter Emblem. Will they experiment with that? I don't know. But Skylar has always been one of those gold diggers that I feel like can get away with whatever pick he ends up with.
It's true. It's true. The Sonics are out in droves here in the EXO Hall and online as they start to dominate who will win game number 1 in the chat.
I could barely hear anything.
Me neither.
Yeah, they're singing. I wonder if there's an end to that singing.
What did you say?
I'm just glad.
See, I can't even hear.
I can hear you. I can hear you guys. Just trust. We learned from this.
Yeah.
It's not to try and beat the noise. The mics will pick us up. But if we don't hear each other, then no hard feelings. It's not that I'm not listening to you. I really cannot just hear you.
I'm just glad that the Sonics are on the Indonesian broadcast side because my goodness, if they're in front of us, it's over. It's literally so loud here in the EXO Hall, and we haven't even gotten into the draft. I don't even know what kind of map we're playing on.
Yeah. It's all on. I think there have been a lot of sentiments too, or shout outs towards the coaches, like Coach Adi, what do you want to do now, and stuff like that. And so same goes for Coach Bitoy for sure. So now you're asking what map we're getting, it's gonna be dangerous, guys.
Okay, so now we look for the surprising picks. We look for the picks that could disrupt a lot. Excuse me, Victor showed up right in front of us, and I may have gotten just a little bit distracted.
Wait, where is she?
Oh no, I still slow. Bring it out. I still slow. By the way, randomly shout out nice. So, now we watch out for Hildas. We watch out for Kali's. These heroes that have done very well in Dangerous Grass. But Evil, surprisingly, are very willing to give Onic a Yuzhong for Lutfi.
You mentioned it. You wanted Lutfi to step up. Isn't this like the best hero to allow you to do that?
It's the easiest to step up with. I think he really has to, right? Because there's no excuse for him at this point now that the major first picks are kind of out of the way. I mean, Grok is still there, but that's not really going to stop yourself from getting into your back line. That's the beauty of the Black Dragon form. I'm curious to see how Evil is going to draft because Kalia and as well as Carrie are going to get locked in for Evil. Carrie was expected. I wasn't expecting the Kalia this time, but it just means that they're setting up for Sayla, right?
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they're gonna pair it up with another birth hero like Kadita or something, since the Yuzhong pretty much denies you confidently picking up the likes of a Farsa, which you still can. Because oh wait, that's an Onic thing by the way. But like, let's see where it goes.
I mean, the Phantom War results really just show how much of an uphill climb this is going to be for Evil in the eyes of many. A Baxia priority first phase. Yeah, this feels familiar.
I like this a lot because here's the relationship, right? Yishin Shin is a little nervous about walking too far to the Kalia, right? And he sucks when he starts falling behind, but he will eventually scale. So the early game, you have an advantage with this Baxia, and now as much as Gathod is a direct counter to the Kalia, he can deal with the Baxia pre-level 4 or after that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time dodging everything the Baxter's gonna throw at him if ever. Wait. Tired taking out for Skylar.
I mean, with them taking the clothing of the character, actually, theoretically, it makes a lot of sense with how they decided to draft this. In terms of the best picks for Skylar, they whittled it down, but then Onic can honestly just go double fighter. The thing is, they still have to think about the fact that there's a carry on the other side. So you see the train of thought here for Onic. Onic took out the Sora. If there's a gold lane pick that might show up here that Evo needs to be wary of, I think it might actually be the CC gold.
Yeah, it's just that I'm probably worrying a bit about Onic and if it ever does go to the late game and how can they close it out if they've been struggling in their previous games to do that, even with the presence of a marksman already.
Yep, that's actually an excellent point. That's one of the problems, I guess, for Onic that has been evident for them here at the Swiss stage.
I think this might be a Moskov angle. I think that there's a potential for Moskov to actually get played here for the side of Onic, but it really depends, right? Because at the end of it, double fighters is still very much on the table. Boyi gets banned out here, but considering that Onic is already getting rid of things like Lapu Lapu, I think they're either setting up for a potential Farsa, because it doesn't look that good if Farsa goes on Evil's side. Onic is going to give them that choice and take whatever's left. In that case, it's probably going to be Lunox, right?
Yeah, so Lunox would actually be nasty for Onic.
Ban Glue. Give them
Lunox and carry together is just.
Maybe they're not thinking about the Lunox considering they banned on the Uranus, because honestly, they would have had the. They already have the tools to deal with it.
Let's see if this is a mid lane pick coming in from Evil, right? Because they cannot not to go for it.
Yeah. Mars is still available if they want the range. Double fighters might be difficult. They could save mid. Show their XP. I mean, like, it's no hiding the fact that this box is going to go into the jungle.
What do you put against the Yuzhong? The Era.
I think you just go blue, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the only thing. All right.
Okay.
It's going to be Farsa and then Glue here. Onic, if they want to like really ruin his day, they can preemptively just go, you know what? I'm going to go into the Farmers even though it kind of sucks against the Farsa. But considering that this is Onyx's time to really take advantage of the best of three, let's stick to standard stuff.
Yeah.
Sans end up getting the Kadita, considering it's a low bit for him.
Yeah, I feel like Sans is not gonna farm his. It's just not giving Sans.
It's not giving Sans?
Not unless they're planning to pair it up with something really, like what we saw in previous series, but it seems like a really good. Oh no, no, man, what the heck?
They know the glue's coming up.
Yeah.
As expected, they pick up the CC.
Yeah, this is what I was worried about. It's just what was going to be the mid lane pick. The mid lane pick determines what the side lane pick is.
Still gonna glue.
The hell?
Hell nah. You're gonna lose your little longs really quick.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, for the Arlot into the Faramis.
But that's still somewhat a great way to deal with the Faramis too.
Yeah.
So like.
Well, I mean, I suppose, but I still think that at the end of the day, this is some really tight win conditions from either side, right? Because they're immediately looking to answer a problem with a solution, and that's the entire draft. You show a problem, I instantly answer. And now it's come to the point that it's so convoluted, the ordering and the stack matters more than how the composition positions.
Interesting decisions for these two. Lineup rating, though, will lead towards Onic. Early to late game potential, way better. The damage potential, though, the hypothetical damage potential of Evil, really, really good. Maybe that's where they'll play it through. As the drums of the Sonics thunder out in Exo Hall, We welcome you to game number 1 is best of 3 elimination series. 2 champions face off, the champions of Singapore, Evil, and the champions of Indonesia, Onic.
Let's get this last point, all three on the road. Everybody has been excited to see whether or not Onic has recovered from the previous mental and emotional damage played throughout the best of ones here in the Swiss stage.
The drums have stopped, but their voices did not. We're already in game, but we're still hearing the Sonics cheer loud and clear. So now we finally get to see, will Ludwig actually live up to whatever we mentioned? And does Keyboy actually get back in shape?
I think he does, because again, he knows this. He doesn't want to mess up level 1. As soon as he hits level 2, he's got a pretty good chance at finding a solo kill onto Gear. And Gear's well aware of it. It's all about maintaining lane pressure. It all means when you don't lose your HP. Losing HP, or at least losing your... No, he misses that, right?
Oh, wings by wings in. Now Keyboy gets the taunt. Sayla already pretty low, but none of them will use the flicker just yet.
Pretty dicey mid-trading, though. I mean, good thing that they didn't use the flicker. That would have been a bigger loss, favoring Onic ID.
Yeah, and now Sayla's gonna lose. I mean, let's count. One minion's gonna disappear before he gets there. I don't know if the second one will disappear too. Doesn't. Only missing out 1 minion total at the end of it. While the gang's happening on towards the offside, right? You can see that Onic literally is looking for anything while Evil is trying to match that pressure. We're not going to let you get free ganks off. We are man defending you each time.
That was a great dive. He forced out the petrify already from Ludwig. Oh, but Sayla, now that's a flicker down.
Lots of pressure on this far, so not gonna have level 4. Contesting this first turtle is gonna be really tough for Onic. It's sad.
Oh! Sans does it, picks up first blood, and there's another fight happening up top. It's Gear who's going down. 2 members already gone for Evil, even before this turtle.
Yeah, Sans didn't just take down Sayla, he diffed him there.
What was Powerful doing? He was holding the key point on the map. I think he should have just given it up and said, you know what, there's no point, because Sayla's not even level 4.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get this wave and he isn't healthy, he has to recall even if he does hit level 4. So the choice really needs to boil down to who are your anchors? We must play for them.
As far as Evil, you need that feather dare strike.
They're getting tipped so much. Even in terms of the energy shields, you can see how Onic ID are already able to get a lot out of that. And they just double it by picking off Gear for the second time in the EXP lane.
Lead going as expected here for Onic ID. Play around your conditions. Slow, discipline.
Sam already committed. Feather Dare Strike 2 is there, but so is the Nether Realm from Sans. Can they get out of this? No! They pull Sayla back! And now with Kyrie joining the fight, Evil have to disengage.
Oh man, Sayla thought he was so safe. He gets taunted, loses his last 2 shots of the feathered air. Tries to get away, gets yoinked back by Sans. Everything that could have gone for Sayla went wrong. And now you can see that Ven, he's having a bit of a tough time against Skylar, but it's a matter of time, and that's what Evil needs to do. As much punishment as Sayla takes, as long as he's able to scale up, that's what matters at the end.
Just their besties.
As much as their besties.
Just their besties. This is not a fun time for Sayla.
Really isn't. He's being read. His roamer just left him in the weirdest spots. And now he's getting dove on. Got outplayed by Sans. I was just not really understanding the limits of a therapist there. It's just like, wait, I could just go versus you right now. It's kind of
Yeah, I think the animation
animation's weird because like GFX shows looks like it's way shorter than it actually is, but it's really just a small projectile that's chasing you, and for some reason it's like mildly slow.
Wait, checking the book. Now he spots two. They are actually gonna powerful two response though with the tsunami slam, but there's not enough damage just yet. Powerful goes down. And that's another successful play before an objective for Onic.
Yep, and Sans didn't even have to use the Netherrealm for. I thought maybe it was going to preemptively do it, but true trust into Keyboy, only maximizing the revitalize to initiate this dive. And now, with two turtles in their hand, a two-level lead from Lupti on the top side. Everything that could have gone wrong for the side of Evil on all three lanes have gone wrong. The conditions of Onic, they have been checked. First 5 minutes, they have the kill lead, they have a 3,000 up. Almost 3,000 gold lead. All turtles have gone to them. So far, they're playing around the fighter-centered lineup. Kyrie hasn't died yet. He's gotten 3 kills. Everything is going perfectly for Onic ID.
Okay, now Evil might want to look for a trick. Skylar has the vengeance though, and the Nether.
Yes.
Right at the edge! Skylar still survives! Boy as well, now Kyrie goes in, Mountain Shocker! Picks up a mega kill and another pull from Sun! To potentially take down Aether! And they successfully get a double for him!
What's it gonna be, Gear? Oh!
As a final slash, but it's a flying fire, it's a floor. Or flying fire who just gets to walk. Or float away.
Because of this, because Gear having to travel halfway across the world, he loses his tier 1 because of this, and even so, Aether is still falling further and further behind to Kyrie. As fast as Boxia can clear. You can rotate across across the map. Kyrie making sure he is losing no time.
Another attempt. There's no nether realm, so sad. Actually, will go down. He doesn't have. Purify too, but
It's a good punish, though. It's a good punish. Shayla still has feathered airstrike, and they know that in 33 seconds the turtle is going to spawn. If they can find an initial kill on the Scholar before his vengeance, that would be ideal. Now Ivan's no return. Scholar will be there. Boy as well. Yes, AOG available for him. Here comes Sans. Also has another realm.
he's already back.
Yeah, Kimoy and Sans showing themselves, made people go, no, but let's not do this. Which is sad, they're not going to be able to find a trade because Kyrie's pushing up top. He's going to steal the orange buff away from Aether too. So Gear's going to see if he can try and cover, but Kyrie got away too fast. And that's a tempo punish right there. Your indecision has costed you. Now Turtle's coming up and you're going to be way far behind. 3-level difference.
Oh, now they finally trade. Skylar will be the sacrifice, but they could potentially pick up the turtle after this. They're gonna block off the entry points for Evil. They still actually want to look for an opportunity. They see powerful, but he's just gonna back off.
Kyrie's also making his way down to the bot side of the map, and so far, everything that has happened, Gear has not been able to really participate in any of these fights. It's starting to frustrate him because he is just bleeding out money every time he walks out of the lane. The laning phase is terrible for Gear. Now he's really just a final slash machine. See if we can make the most out of that. Maybe you can even get like a dauntless strike, few Ventress in. Starting to make impact outside of the ultimate. Evil still trying to find a way to recover. The unfortunate thing about the pick off of the Skylar in the bottom lane is that it happened while the minions weren't there for them. So instead of it being a kill plus a turret, it was just a kill while waiting for the minions. Yeah, and now they're going to make an attempt to lose 5. If he still has Petrify, and that's something that Ben just honestly, considering that he is currently running. I can't remember, Flicker, right? He's running Flicker or Purify? Flicker, there we go. Then he shouldn't be walking up so closer. Yeah, he will get one shot.
Ooh.
That was so close. Good thing Aether was able to recall back.
But again, he's still second in gold, so it's not too bad for Evil just yet. If they're just backing up the eventual the focal point of this draft.
The thing is, though, Evil cannot defend. They can't even defend their own resources. That you're not necessarily playing to get a lot of farm for your Baksha, but the YSS is getting all the farm, meaning that one of the main cores for Onic is really getting resources. Yep, the trade isn't fair, and Evil is trying to even out that score. They managed to get at least one back, but that's off of initiating, right? Knowing that we don't have battle spells.
So powerful. He wants Skylar, but the Nether Realm will save him there, and Keyboy goes in too, tries to counter them out, but surprisingly, Evil actually had the damage, but with Ludwig coming in as well, a Black Dragon form alongside Kyrie, they finally get the advantage back. A double for Ludwig, and Kyrie will be there with him as Sans takes down Aether.
Beautifully done by Ludwig. Great initiation after the initial attack coming in from Evil, and Sans and Kyrie did not miss a beat. This was the Ludwig that I was missing out on in the Swiss stage in the BO1s. The Ghost Bursters from Sans hurt as well.
Ghostbusters with lightning torch and everyone was close together, and now Onic gets the Free Lord 6,000 and climbing for their gold lane. Let's look back at the instant replay to see that pretty disgusting damage that Sans and the rest of Onic were able to dish out.
And that's the thing, right? Because when you see the AOG come in, and even the Feathered Airstrike, once Keyboy was on top and manages to get the taunt, things started to go wrong after the Nether Realm, right? That's when Lupti gets into the middle of it. The knockup ends up hitting Powerful accidentally, and Powerful honestly shouldn't have dived him in the first place after seeing the very furious dive.
Seems like he forced it there. He used the tidal strike to get close. The range wasn't enough just yet. I think there was a flicker that was committed to just to secure that. And again, the Lord just spawned so fast. So now, in no time, Onic ID, they're just this close to getting rid of all the remaining outer turrets from Evil. And this is not looking too good. No!
Oh, unfortunate.
No more holy shields for mid too.
Yeah, really good spacing coming in from Sans. He knows exactly what he's doing here. But now they're also getting the holy shielding on that top side as well. Wait, the Lord doesn't take the damage.
Oh, they can still utilize this if they wanted to, but they're gonna respect Evil and their potential. They know that the final slash, the knockups from Powerful are available too. Okay. Oh, that's the curtain call AOG combo. And now it's going back. They finally go for the dive alongside the Nether Realm. And they're trying to walk away. But Kyrie doesn't let him. Onic ID are so close to taking away game number 1. But can Gear, can Ben make something happen? They don't even get to clear that single minion left. And that's going to be game 1 over to Onic ID.
Wow, what a game! What a game we got lined up here today. Really well played coming in from the side of Onic, making sure that their fluid motions really brought up a new level of play. Win the laning phase on all 3 of the lanes. Have the time of your life during the mid game.
My goodness, the adjustments.
Yeah, that was way too easy for Onic. Honestly, even it feels like Evil are wondering, it's like, how could that have gone better for us? That was just Onic being Onic. Look, they stepped up, dominated Kieran lane, Kiboy and Sans, deaths and trades here and there, but ultimately got the job done. They got their winning conditions, all of them. Easy win for Onic.
Really, really good stuff. Again, this is only the very first match here as they start heading on over into the back, making sure they're keeping the fans' hopes alive. But this was the major combo, right? Again, we didn't get to see it too often, but it's something that they had in their arsenal this entire time. It's the curtain call into the AOG. It's really hard. It's an almost guaranteed hit on the AOG every single time. And they only whipped it out right at the end.
Yeah, what was that? What was Aether and Powerful caught together, I think. So you get those 2 players out, and Ben couldn't do much anymore, not even with the presence of the Arlot by his side.
There's no other way to look at it than you're seeing here the Sky Kings. This is peak Onic form. But what I like about this performance is that I didn't really see a lot of moments that made me go, what are you doing there? It was just a whole load of, yeah, they were all there at the right time, initiated at the right time, entered at the right time. Everything was just at the perfect timing for Onic time.
After all the series we've been through today,
Yeah.
it feels weird to not have a bonus now.
Exactly. No, I'm happy about it. I'm happy about it. It keeps the right side of my brain still active before it runs out of gas. At the very least, looking at the way that Onic is playing, it's really telling Evil, hey, you are the ones who need to crack us, not the other way around. Yeah, once Onic gets the tempo, they get into that flow state, and that's something that we need to address, because why did Onic decide, you know what, we could have dove at any point in time knowing that we have the Theramis in hand and the Black Dragon form. So why didn't they do it right at the top side inhibitor, and instead went straight into mid? Final slash. Still a massive amount of respect despite Gear being 0-2 by the time he got involved in these fights.
It's like every single time they knew that there is even the slightest chance that Evil could get maybe 1 or 2 members out or force a couple things out, then they would rather not risk it, because I think we saw a glimpse of it almost happening in the mid lane before Lutpi jumped in, and I'm not sure if he used the petrify, but basically he was the guy who seemingly went for the cleanup or allowed Kyrie to go for the cleanup. So that was a moment where it could have happened, but Onic were just too careful about it, and they made sure that this ended in less than 12 minutes.
Yeah, let's go. Look, we finally didn't get shafted in lane and now shows us what an EXP can do given the right amount of resources. He doesn't need a lot. He's 3-0-7. A majority of his participations were just assists.
Really easy to step up with one of the strongest lane bullies in the game, but to be able to shine with it, get an MVP performance with it, that's a little bit more difficult because it means it's requesting perfection of you to make the most out of your Furious Dive, all of your combinations to apply the pressure at the right time, which is exactly what Lutpi did.
So good, so good. When we look at these highlights, right, we need to break it down simply just by the way that Onic is looking to fight. A majority of these fights that we see here really just comes down to like, how do I punish the mid lane? How do I make sure that Sayla is never going to be in the right position at the right time to get maximum value out of that feathered airstrike? And especially since you have 3 losing lanes and priority in each and every single one of them, this is why you see moments like this where it's like, oh, the AOG is definitely going to connect. Who else is nearby? They win a 4v5 with a late addition to gear coming in at the end. All of this, every move that we see coming out from Evil gets punished in one way or another. This is something that Onic has been doing since its inception, especially since their import Kyrie has made waves here in MPL ID and now the international stage, as per always, but even more so to the level of perfection where, honestly, even then, how do you realistically play this game? You walk up, you're going to get engaged on. You stay too far back, you're as good as dead anyways. All of which, just nothing they can really do. I have not much to analyze about this because really the only thing I can ask for Evil is to take bigger risks. And if they fail those risks, they just lose faster. If they happen to win out in those fights, good for them. They buy themselves 2 minutes.
I guess it was a bit too difficult for them to feel confident enough, because Sayla didn't have the best possible early game. Or like Sayla was the focus of Onic during the early stages of the game. And Sayla had to play such a big role in terms of the early damage, in terms of the early rotations, because they're on a backshot jungle. So that was a requirement, and Onic immediately took it away from them.
It makes me wonder whose call it was. See, look at the deficits. To send Powerful away from the mid to ensure that Sailor, instead of ensuring that Sailor would hit level 4, Powerful just decided to hold the key position as if the Farsa was already level 4 alongside Aether, which was a little bit, which they were a little bit closer to the EXP lane then at that time, instead of helping Sailor out in mid. And that little decision eventually snowballed into a big runaway win for Keyboy Ensigns at the center of the map, and which meant Kyrie was like, I'm just gonna farm, man. I'm gonna be here getting a perfect game.
I think that Evil really need to evolve their templing style of gameplay, right? They have such tight win conditions, and they're always assuming that the opponents are going to fall into it one way or another. If, they get a little tired, you go on autopilot, bam, that's when we're going to catch him. We're already in the international stage. It has been 4 consecutive years where we're seeing teams, and honestly, this is where a lot of people leaned into Team Flash more than Evil for a majority of it because of the experience, right? We see people like Diablo forcing out plays against their opponents to get something back. We don't see that from Evil.
Yeah, those plays, even those heroes that Diablo, let's say, decides to bring out, and it's the flavor which a lot of people really appreciate about Singapore, despite them not really getting those commendable finishes just yet. But hopefully we get to see that in his earliest game too.
So that was game number 1, get best of 3. But it seems like Evil has way more things to prepare and work on to make sure that they can make this a competitive series and force a game number 3 against the champions of Indonesia. But now we're gonna have a little conversation with fans of Evil, flew out all the way from Singapore to join us here in Jakarta at the EXO Hall. So there's Rose.
Hey guys, Rose here. So right now I'm actually interviewing a little bit of the evil friends that I have spotted out in the arena. Hey, boys. Okay, guys, introduce yourself to all of our audiences.
I'm Musa. I'm Vada. I'm Elvin, also known as Tizu.
Okay, guys, so, oh wow, the energy is overpowering right now. So, guys, where are you guys from actually? Did you guys fly from Singapore with Evil? Wow, dedicated friends I see. Now, tell us a little bit more. Why did you guys decide to support Evil despite having so many teams here in the M7?
Why? Why? There's no why. No such thing as why. Yes, it's who. Who we are supporting.
Oh, who are you supporting?
Correct, evil.
Evil as a whole?
I mean, yes, generally, but like, specifically one person.
Who?
Our brother first. Our blood brother. Brother from another mother. Powerful. The only person.
Oh my. So, Powerful is your brother from another mother.
Alright, that's correct.
How did you guys meet? Back then in school? What was it like?
When we were 12 years old.
Oh, 12 years old. You kind of just exposed your age a little bit. Now, since you guys have known Powerful for quite a while, and of course you guys are here to support him, how does it feel to finally seeing him play on the big stage? He finally debuted on an international stage.
It's a fantastic experience as like we see him like perform at the big stage. It brings smiles and joy to us. Like we've seen everything he's done his entire life. So like kind of proud. It's actually a shame for him. Actually very proud.
Very proud. Really supportive friends. I really like that. Now, we know that currently you guys are going up against Onic Indonesia, and from the arena over here, it's a full house, and most of them are definitely Onic fans, or Sonics, that's what we call them. Do you guys feel extra pressure for Evil?
Yeah, crazy people. I don't feel pressure. The whole stadium, I guess I don't feel pressure. He's our first international, by the way. This won't be the last time you guys will be seeing us. Only go against the whole stadium.
No? So 3 versus the whole arena.
Correct.
You know, I think right now Evil and Powerful is probably listening to us back in the player room before we begin the second game of their series, and potentially this could be their last because it is definitely match point for Onic ID. Is there anything you guys want to say to your brother from another mother?
Just gotta adjust, you know. Everything's possible. Just gotta lock in. Lock in. Last message. What? Last message? No. Once we're evil. Can I share one thing?
Yeah, you want to say one thing?
So back in M4, both me and Powerful came to Jakarta as well. Then I remember he told me clearly that Elvin, one day we're gonna come here. And then now that we see him here, like, you know, it's like a really touching and proud moment lah for us. Especially us, like, his friends for 9 years, you know. So like, we're really very happy and proud for him lah. Yeah.
There you go, Powerful. You have 3 brothers from another mother who is definitely cheering you and supporting you in your journey. We wish you the very best in this potential last game for Well, thank you so much, boys. And with that, we are throwing it back to the game. Onic ID or Evil 1 will continue their journey on the M7 World Championship stage. Let's go, Evil!
Asia sudah merasakan menerima dukungannya ini juga sulit, tapi tangan Allah bekerja. Takdir memang sudah membuat lain. Senang lagi. Alhamdulillah.
That was one of my favorite interviews of all time. Hey bro, no, these guys are a vibe. That was so good. I'm waiting for Powerful to come up with an album at this point. Oh, yeah, drop the EP with your friends, man. Like they feel suited for it.
I wish I had friends like that. We're just so...
Be hype.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of questions or even in the early stages of the game, but at least they're doing decently.
They're not losing lane.
That for sure is already doing better than game number 1. Yeah, it's also Master Assassin. Cool. Master Assassin ages this.
Dari beberapa juara DA dan Liga, ya alhamdulillah Cepi berhasil
What's he going for?
A unique
Cepi atau Kak Selvi pernah mendapatkan kesempatan bukan
center looking boy.
Maybe this is the
tapi single bersama. Ada single bersama
Singaporean, you know. Surprise.
Wait, I'm thinking about this because here has a natural advantage against Ludwig at level 1 and level 2. So taking Master Assassin to really put him at odds, he can do stuff like this where he can take like one one tower shot, and then as long as he gets max sack Ionic Edge onto
And Onic are still here, but it's Aether who gets the turtle away.
And now they take everything. This is where Kyrie. Oh wait, actually Ludwig is a little too low. Same goes for Kiba. They don't have enough HP to kind of maintain this, especially against gear. But hey, you know, Aegis, wow, you saw that Aegis go off. Wow, it projected so much damage, but he still died. That's crazy. It's like it's not a good spell.
Really fast. And even Skylar benefited from it even for just a little bit.
I don't know, it just feels silly. It feels really, really silly to take Aegis, especially when you know that there's an Esmeralda on the other side anyways. Sure, you could be using it pretty decently for lane, but why not just take Sprint? Or why not just take, you know, something real simple? I would honestly make an argument for Execute even to be better than this Aegis.
Because he's the guy who can chase and just finish off kills if you wanted to.
Exactly, go play for me,
Oh, and now here, see the target, there's a shortcut that's gonna be on him. And immediately after that, they're going to resume and return to their individual lanes. Skylar gets the sense that there might be something up top.
Oh my god.
So he will not try to defend any further. We'll just have to sacrifice the energy shield.
Nice. I thought maybe Toy had his ult ready to go, but he used it down on the bottom side, which is why it kind of snowballed in this particular manner. This is a good response from me.
Yeah, they went map to map. They get their carry out of lane. Now they can easily play S5, play 4 Fed. Was able to maximize the energy shield. They don't have to worry about that too much, even though it already has 2 kills. Has to have the 1,000 million. They have their first item with their carry, and they at this point. Hopefully with rolling together, they don't forget that there are still gold cards that they can give to that carry. Which is a little bit more of a boost in the gold department. Yeah, beat him up here. Beat him up ever so slowly. Punch him in his face. Riveting EXP gameplay. Wow, look at
let's watch this. Let's watch this.
Wow!
I mean, he does. He genuinely can like dive him underneath the turret, knowing that he just used his final slash. But wait, he missed out on one mid. You know what? Never mind. He doesn't need it. He's just gonna proxy the next mid, right?
Boys just all do this.
What is he doing? What is he doing? Are you proxying the wave of 1v1?
Sitting here. Now he will make it to the fairly close to him. But then there is Minion Wave pushing down bot.
I am losing it.
I gotta play my play. Hold on. Now that's Way of the Dragon, which doesn't connect. Evil will really get this objective once again, but Keyboy and the other members of Onic are actually gonna go for it. Gear is down, and not even Aegis keeps him alive.
Okay. All right. Despite all of that, biggest loser in this is still Gear. He lost his entire wave. Nearly lost his tier
one who joined the fight, used his Aegis, still died. It is not going well for Gear at this point, and Onic ID are taking full advantage that he doesn't have a Purify.
It was powerful off angle, but that ended up being a turtle for evil and another kill, maybe.
Oh, Aether gets Bargiel. They're chasing after Skylar. That's 4 members onto him, and he cannot survive. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Aether will not die for the 4th time.
Yeah. Not yet. Not until he has his Aegis, of course. Classic. The classics. But Skylar honestly got pretty close to actually escaping it. Had he just charged his Falling Star for just a little bit longer, I think he would have made it over the wall before Sayla was able to get his max stack some butterfly to lift him up.
Still a very close game. Toys being managed relatively well. Only has not ballooned when insane about. Evil's got him first 2 turtles. Fence though hasn't died yet. They got him out of lane quicker. They maximized the energy shielding up top with the carry. By all means, Evil can suddenly turn this around if Onic slip up. The thing is, it's a little bit more conditional of Onic actually messing up instead of Evil taking the charge here. But they do have the fields. There is still a gap favoring the usage over the labor though. The good thing is labor is that hero he can just clean up. So how do you get to the point where the members of Onic are low enough for Leomord to clean up? Now that's the question.
Yeah, I think a lot of it just has to come down to powerful and then making the initial attack, killing the target that gets away with the dragon, and then having to deal with the RW web lane. Because Aether, no matter what, has to come in from like either a flank angle or needs to just peel for his backline. One or the other. He can't do both, unfortunately, but that's kind of up to Onic, because this is a really good case study of Evil playing the reactive draft and defensive draft, while Onic are the ones who are forced to make more plays.
It's powerful and then have to work together for now. Especially if they find the right targets. But at this point, Onic ID, they're just showing themselves up, and it doesn't feel like they care. Powerful's already pretty low on this troll, even before this turtle fight.
Yeah, looking on for us is trying to force the flicker out of him, but he decided to hold on to it, knowing that there's a lot of value with having the flicker on him. Free turtle for Onic as no more over means no more contention for Evil.
Again, I don't want to keep. Oh no.
Now that's the Aegis.
Yes!
Now he's alive, but there's a shortcut and a falling star was all thrown out of the net at once. The final /2 catching multiple members. They trade out gear for Ludwig, an EXP for an EXP lane, but Evil at least defend the mid, but will also have to give up powerful.
Okay, a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Onic. They now actually have a decent lead against Evil at this stage. Man, it's so sad. Even with the Aegis, could not sustain the raw damage being pumped out right now. And the fact that Aether is already 2 levels down on Kyrie, these neutral objectives are pretty much uncontestable.
Well, Aether and Ben have not gone down yet, even Sayla. The formation that Evil have been playing, sort of like a Singaporean females, just sticking together, playing for your carry. It's worked out well for them. The Crimson Legion of Sayla has stopped Onic being pretty aggressive.
Another real world and final slash, bringing them right back into the real world manipulation. They get to finally take down that tier 1 in mid. Aether also using Phantom Steam, but Onic are not gonna fight head on.
What the heck are we fighting or what? They need to make a couple of calls here, right? As much as they need to trade up, I think one thing that Evil's really good at is identifying how much gold profit or loss they get from it. I think they have a very good sense of it, because now they know that Onic ID has a lead. Being able to fight back is a good thing, but if they don't get a guarantee, they need that 100% guarantee that they get that one guy. If not, it's just not worth the time.
He goes in, but like everyone gets to dodge it. Powerful doesn't find the way of the dragon transfer back.
Get back on that show. Sayla, then Aether, holding on to your life every engagement. And slowly the lead of Onic ID is getting to a point where it's unmanageable for Evil.
Look at this. Look at the split that we got with Kyrie on the top side. He's got Keyboy already at a pretty good intersection, monitoring both the purple buff alongside the Tribe Rush. Anybody on this top side who starts moving past the tier 2s are going to be visible to Keyboy, allowing Onic ID to make a decision. This is why Kyrie, he's coming back. He thought he was going to recall. No, they start moving towards the mid lane. Now they're attacking.
Oh, the combo was not it. Keyboy now finds Ben fifth to go down as a wipeout indeed happens, courtesy of Onic ID.
Whoa, combo done beautifully by Onic ID. That flag from Keyboy with the conceal straight into the shortcut. Immaculate.
Powerful decided to call it, but in the end, it ended up being a wonderful setup for Onic to get a massive win there. They get the Lord, they got the wipeout, and it now has gotten to an uncontrollable lead for Onic. Evil's time is ticking. Look at the instant replay, and just everything fell perfectly, even the falling star moon. Everything aligned for Onic to pounce on that.
Just look at Keyboy. He's targeting red this entire time, and even Luffy is conveniently on top of it. It's just like the best case scenario. It's like you're looking behind to see where the killer is chasing you, and when you look forward, it's just a wall full of knives. It's just, no matter what, you will find death.
Yeah, honestly, even the shortcut layered perfectly with the real world and keeping every single member of Evil in the range of the real world manipulation. So it's not like Keyboy's been using it aggressively all the time. It's like he's always also finding the time to use it in a manner that'll make sure they're able to maximize their other resources as well. Final Snap doesn't connect way of the dragon, which is used to kick him away from their range. They still have the Lord. It's healthy in the mid lane, but they'll focus on taking down the other base turrets first. Here looking to be next, still has the Aegis though. Will he use it now? He does, but then he just needs one more hit before he goes down. But Onic ID don't care. All they want is the sweep, but Evil are still trying to defend. But for now, they can. They take out some minions that are left. But finally, Onic Eye. Complete the sweep. And now we get another life. One more series away for qualification. But unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to another region, another representatives. Evil
Their hearts here. On that stage, and they
Untuk pemerintah daerah Jawa Barat, terima kasih ke SMA PGRI
played with everything they got.
Sing dan sekitarnya, untuk seluruh warga Kota Bandung,
Ended the
dan jangan lupa dukung Akeo dengan cara buka aplikasi RCTI Plus, pilih foto aku Akeo Bastian dari Bandung, dan foto
4-season reign of NIP. Flash, or excuse me, Team Flash. In Singapore, ending their streak. But today they are not able to take down the Sky Kings. As you gotta go wild, they're champion. Still holding on. They now go up to the 2 bracket. Evil will have to go home.
Look at the Sonic. They're all having so much fun. And they definitely seeing Onic in this form. Even those plays from boy on the troll and chip. It's a Cho, but he got the last two letters. The chip and the Eve still finding ways to link up low. This is these. Onic, you've been wanting to see.
The Onic, the people were expecting. Look at the faces. You can tell they want. To have a better showing. They understood the enemy ahead of them. The Goliaths, the Sky Kings, as you may call them, but at the very least, they wanted to show that Singapore had. Just a little bit more. Clean, perfect. And as expected for Onic, this is the type of performance that they needed to deliver. Because anything other than this would have raised questions. This was a definitive answer to all of the doubters here today. Onic are still here. Best of ones historically, maybe it just doesn't go well for them. But definitely the best of threes, much more comfortable, much more determined as well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps build up that ego, build out that confidence, because the journey isn't over yet for Onic. They still have another match ahead of them after the draw to see if they can qualify. But the smiles on Kyrie does tell you, and considering that both Sans as well as Keyboy nonchalantly take off their headsets, they know we can definitely do better. But for now, this will be good enough.
Yeah, but
Thank you for the effort, Evil. Hope to see you bounce back in the next one. But now, it's the Sky King's time of glory.
has let the world see a different side of Singapore MLBB. We bid you the best of luck as you make your way back onto the world stage. And of course, another team that survives elimination today, the home ground heroes, Onic Indonesia! Right now with me here on stage, we have Kyrie and Skylar. Boys, congratulations. That was a very clean and deserving of victory. But let's cut to the chase. A lot of people has been wondering or even worrying, what is going on with Onic? Why such a shaky start?
I think, personally, I think it's just because of the best of one curse for Onic. I think that's our biggest problem.
The biggest obstacle is getting over the curse.
Yes.
Now that we have entered a best of 3 and tomorrow you guys will be playing again, you think it's gonna be smoother now?
Because it's not best of one anymore, I think it'll be, a lot smoother.
A lot smoother. I think that's what the Indonesians want to hear in the arena. And of course, Skylar, you guys entered the competition being one of the favorites. A lot of people expected you guys to win. But how is it like managing the expectation? While Kyrie's translating, so masa Onic ID qualify untuk M7, ramai orang ada ekspektasi tinggi untuk Onic ID. So, macam mana Skylar manage expectation ramai orang tu untuk perform yang lebih bagus di M7?
Bahasa Indonesia kan ini?
Well, now we're stuck!
Mungkin kekalahan kemarin menjadi pelajaran lah buat kita, dan kita sekarang ya udah nothing tulus ya, jadi kita nggak pikirin apa-apa lah, jadi kita kasih yang terbaik aja.
They're currently on a nothing to lose mindset. So you know what? At the end of the day, they have nothing to lose. They're just doing their best and performing on the M7 World Stage. So, adakah kemenangan ini maksud tu Onic sudah selesai semua masalah dalam Onic? Does this win mean that you guys have already fixed whatever internal problems you guys had with the best of ones and everything? Udah selesai kah masalahnya?
Nggak tahu sih, mikir ke situnya, jadi cuman ya problemnya ya kalau BO1 ya menurut gue nggak ada problem juga, cuman ya kita adaptasi juga, dan sekarang udah BO3 harusnya kita lebih confident.
Skylar said that problems will always exist, but they have adapted to it, and of course, they're just gonna do their best. And Kyrie, before the match started, we were catching up outside with your friend Sayla, and you did say that you're gonna send him home today, Kyrie. Is there a message perhaps for
You're gonna stand there stoically and
Yeah,
let him do all the hosting.
I can. I'm gonna fangirl if I were in your position.
Yeah, I will fangirl later. You'll see me do that. Thank you once again for joining us all today. For all the teams that bowed out of the M7 World Championship today, we want to say thank you. And I hope that back home, when your regional leagues start happening, you pop off, and we hope to see you again in the next big one. Renmar, Gideon, BRIGIDA, RGB. That's it for today. But we're gonna have a little draw, so see ya. Camera flicker. Comfortable, much more determined. As well.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely helps build up that ego, build out that confidence, because the journey isn't over yet for Onic. They still have another match ahead of them.
Masing-masing mempunyai perjalanan hidup yang berbeda.